Welcome back, MTG Joe here, and this is a deck I've been working on. We have about 24 hours left in the Mythic ladder for the month, so I just wanted to test this out here. It's kind of a pet deck I've been working on the side. It is a Temur monsters list, so monster walkers. So kind of, if you're familiar, the Temur Oko decks that were going around early in Throne of Eldraine. Basically a bunch of 1-drop accelerants into a bunch of powerful 3-drop walkers or creatures. So we're trying to mirror that, obviously no Oko. But what we want to try to do is Arboreal Grazer. It's not as good with Goose now because it doesn't let you accelerate past that. And we don't have Arboreal or Elvish Mystic to allow you to kind of ramp. But we have ideally Arboreal Grazer into turn 3 play. We can go turn 3, either Spellbreaker, Klothys, Uro, Royal Scions, or Domri. Domri also helps you ramp afterwards. It can be a fight spell with the Arboreal Grazer after to take out 1-drops. You have removal early in Scorching Dragonfire and Bonecrusher Giant, which happens to then come down as a 4/3. So you have your creatures, they'll smash in, quite strong. Klothys grinds out games long and can also ramp you. You can refill your hand with Hydroid Krasis or Uro. Royal Scions fills the yard for Uro. It gives first strike and trample to Uro, which is also nice. So a lot of synergies in there. Can help you escape it back. Nylea is something I'm just trying out now. I had Bioessence Hydra, but like it won me one game. I turned 3 Bioessence Hydra, and then so I went Arboreal Grazer into Domri into thing, and then I followed it up with Vivien. So it was kind of disgusting, but for the most part, it's a little too slow. So trying Cavalier here. It'll refill our hand if need be when it dies. It fuels Uro. It can find Uros as well. And it's a better blocker against flyers. I found the deck a little weak to flyers. Nylea can also be a mana sink and a cost reduction. Questing Beast is really good right now in the format. The 4-color walker list. Bant mid-ramp and Unisa decks. All the sacrifice decks tend to be smaller, so you can go over top the cat. Some Viviens also give trample and can fight, and then it also can, not so much main board, it could just get our Ceratops out of the side, but it's more just for counters, make your things bigger, and give them trample and fighting. Mana base-wise, pretty simple, a bunch of shocks, and then a couple Fabled Passages. You want to try as much as possible to have untapped green on 1 if you can for Arboreal Grazer. And then the sideboard wise, some Aether Gusts versus red-green matchups. Tail's End is something I want to try out. It is good against a variety, so activated abilities, Planeswalker ultimates, Planeswalker abilities, triggered abilities, so like Uro or Hydroid Krasis, anything like that, or legendary spells to just counter Planeswalkers, so good against like Bant mid-ramp. Some Lava Coils, Return to Natures, Disputes, Flame Sweeps versus the hyper-aggressive matchups, and then some Ceratops versus counter-based decks. So sideboard, I'm still tweaking out some of the numbers. I think right now I'm like 2-2 with the deck, or 2-3. Still working out some of the details, so we're 96%. We'll run it through some standard ranked and go from there. Hey AZM, how's it going there? Thanks for stopping by. So as always, if you miss our content live, everything that I play is archived onto my YouTube channel. You can catch it all there. While you're there, if you can, drop a comment, like, or subscribe. They're all free and easy ways to help out the channel. And if you can, drop a follow on Twitch and you can know when we go live. Probably be doing a giveaway soon on the channel. I'll announce it in the community page. This hand's pretty slow. We're not really doing anything till 4. I think we mulligan. Okay, we'll keep this. I think we just go like this for now. There's been a ton of Rakdos sacrifice on the ladder. I'm going to keep Arboreal. It's a good blocker and it helps me get ahead on land. Priest. So just play this out. Just pretend like we're a Gruul deck right now. Thanks for the Twitch Prime sub, Azim. Okay, so this is the Kroxa variant. Claim is actually very good against us. I think I'm just going to go Uro here and then follow it up with Cavalier of Thorns. Cavalier of Thorns will get us our land, and then it'll also put more cards into the graveyard for Uro. They did mill over 2 claims into Riders, or Devils. And they have the Woe Strider. So they can sack some stuff with Priest if they want to get this out of the way. That's what they're going to do. So this is one of the matchups that having Flame Sweep is good. Yeah, I think if the Cavalier, so like if we're looking here versus say like Bioessence Hydra, Cavalier's a lot better here. It's going to get us ahead on lands, and then it lets me Uro. And then I do have a big Hydroid Krasis. So next turn I can Scions and Uro, which is nice. So here they'll likely, my guess is sack. Force us to sack this. I'm going to put the Scorching Dragonfire on top. Get rid of this Priest. Okay, so they did hit Kroxa. So we do need to be mindful of that. And they have double red, so they're going to get back Kroxa this turn. It's a little slow. They have Rankle too. We're just dead here. Too slow that game. This one looks like a lot more aggressive. So Lava Coils are good. Flame Sweeps are good. Coming out, Viviens are a bit slow. Royal Scions aren't that great in this matchup. Just bring all the removal in. Domri can fight, which is nice. Klothys is okay. Nylea, we can turn it on, hopefully. When they go quick like that, it's hard to deal with, at least with the main board. Priest is surprisingly really good against us. We're not deploying that many threats, like at each time, so it's easy for them to control the board with Priest. Whereas in a normal instance, they wouldn't be able to as well. But now that we have a little bit more removal in, it should help. Especially with this version going with Temur, Calls of the Dead. The zombies are something we could sweep up. Okay, guess we keep this and just put back... Put back the mountain. Don't need Uro. So getting a little punished here. Haven't mulled that great with the deck. Klothys is interesting and is actually pretty good in this matchup. I'm gonna just keep it on top for now. Especially if they're going Temur. Because now I could go Klothys and then eat their thing. hopefully draw a blue source soon. So we'll see what they exile here. I'm going to go after Kroxa first. Perfect. So here, let's shock, go Uro. We have plenty in their graveyard to attack. And then we have Flame Sweep for next turn, which is nice. So I might actually target... No, I'm going to go after Woe Strider because it can escape back. Okay, so they have Oven. That gets rid of the Flame Sweep. Hey Titans. This is game 1... Sorry, match 1, game 2. They overran us game 1. I was playing this off stream. I've been tuning it for a while. I'm like 2-2 with it. I switched Cavalier of Thorns instead of Bioessence Hydra at the top end. Running into so much aggro recently has been a bit of an issue. So this turn I'm actually, because they missed the land drop, I'm going to take out the Fabled Passage. It could let me play 2 spells for the turn. So let's go... I gotta go blue here. So I'll cycle first, see if we go Domri or... This will also just distract him for a bit. Just gonna pass here. Probably just when they do that, I'll stomp now. Just takes off 2 power off the board. So I'm doing that now just because it gets around the Witch's Oven from stopping Bonecrusher Giant. If we can draw another blue source, then we can get back this... Oh, actually, we're still a bit away. This should help fill. This can also filter. Klothys helps grind these games out a bit. Okay, they're going face. Something like Questing Beast would also be good. Okay, so let's get rid of Woe Strider. We'll cycle here. I think we just do this turn. If I could draw an untapped land, if not, I'll just exile one of them and then draw 2 cards. Fortunately, you can't really snipe it while it's in the graveyard with Klothys, just because they'll play around it. I really like this card. I'm going to try a Jund version of the deck as well around Klothys. That's painful. So they can go so they just go face, they sack here, they get 2 food. That's odd. Why you point just 1 damage there? Okay, so we drew the land, so I'm going to gain some life. I'm going to target the creatures and enchantments for the future Timorets. So let's just go Krasis 4. Okay, so they got the Grasp. It's a second blue source, but I think we just bin it for now. It doesn't come into play untapped anyways. They have the Woe Strider. So that's worse now because I can't play around it with Bonecrusher. It's very odd that they're splitting the damage. Okay, so let's get rid of Temur. Gonna see if we can hit. Probably just binning the land. So we'll try to Lava Coil here. That would force them to sack it with that. And then this will allow us to lease Bonecrusher. Okay. So they kept the food open. I think we just passed turn here. They're not putting a whole bunch of pressure on us. They've been really struggling on line drops. Just take this off the battlefield. If we could gain 2 life a turn and they're only hitting us for really 2, one with the cat coming in and 1 from the damage, we're in a pretty good spot. Rankle coming in sucks. Let's see what they do here. Wanted that Krasis. So get rid of the Rankle here. If you're watching on Mobile Titan, it's you can find it just in the little widget here from Aether Hub. Otherwise, it's the first one on my list. So it didn't hit the land there. Play out Bonecrusher here. So I'm going to do this on their turn in case they have another Rankle. Actually, let's do this now so it gets exiled. Thanks, man. Have a good one. Thanks for stopping by. So they Crocs us for 3. They don't have enough to get it back. And they can't attack. So let's exile Croxa. Ultimate Scions, deal 5 to our opponent. Finally hit that second blue for Arrow. Feels like that was a long time coming. That gains us 3 more life. So I think we should have this one. Klothys just really came in clutch that game. Just being able to take them down. Just play that tapped. Just give this haste and trample. So they can block here, they take some damage, they can block here. Don't think we're dead either way. See, I'm surprised they sacked there. They could have got 1 extra activation. Yeah, Klothys has been great. And the nice thing is, because you're playing Royal Scions, you can ditch the extra copies, even if you draw multiple of the same walkers. They stumbled a bit on lands, but we also didn't hit our second blue. Oh yeah, I guess Claim kills us. So we played a little aggressive there, then we shouldn't have done that. I think I might want these Return to Natures, because they're also playing Calls of the Dead. Domri's okay here. Maybe just cut Nylea. Krasis is... See, Krasis is a little iffy. It's kind of a liability if they claim it. Maybe on the play we just cut a couple of these. Just run it like that. Our deck's super susceptible to claim. When you play a bunch of like 10 power or 3 mana, like 3 or 4 power creatures. I'll keep this. We're on the draw. We have 2 chances to find another land. An Arboreal on 1 allows us to go Klothys on 2 or Spellbreaker. And then Flame Sweep is a nice card as well to have. Okay, so they got Cat on 1. That's probably one of the worst draws we could have. I'm also super excited to just not draw our third land. 42% chance to draw a land. 42%. Untapped land. It's a land at least. Does that let him play? It only puts 3 cards in the library. So Klothys will be able to do her thing. So obviously this game goes a lot different if we were playing this on curve, because I could have already picked this off. So if they hit a land, they have enough to tighten here. Okay, so they don't anymore. Oh no, they do. And I don't think I can beat Kroxa. This is target creature you control fights. I think we just get rid of Domri here. If we just had an untapped land. I'm going to get rid of Klothys right now. Deal some damage. Like, if they want to trade, I trade. Here, I think if they attack with Kroxa, I just bin this Spellbreaker, because then I could Flame Sweep. Hopefully it's not like Noxious Grasp. It's Noxious Grasp. It's always Noxious Grasp. So get rid of Spellbreaker. Soak up 6 here. I don't think we're beating Kroxa. Taking 9 this turn. Untapped land is the killer. Because now we're dead even just to the attack trigger. Actually, we're not quite. If they have another spell. Oh, Farika's Liberation was brought in. Yeah, I'm dead from the attack. That one sucked. Ah, untapped land. We had so many in our deck. We'll just give Arena a quick reset and we'll fire it up again. The problem is I can't really deal with Kroxa once it like comes into play. I can fight it. Maybe we want a couple Brazen Borers, but Brazen Borer doesn't really bounce out like fight that well. I think we just run it back. Had that been any other land, we win that game. We exile the Kroxa and then we have it on curve and then we're not losing all the cards from our hand. We could get like a bit, like if we're still running into a lot of Rakdos, I can tailor this a bit more, play a little bit more in terms of just removal. This hand is awesome. Turn 2 Scions. Actually. So we're going to see if it's Bant mid-ramp, then I'm probably going to prioritize the Growth Spiral. Yeah, it's Bant mid-ramp. This turn's probably to Fairy. Do I just like smack him? Nah. Yeah, we smack him. So like I have to block with Cavalier against the Dream Trawler. I do want Klothys. That's something I want to prioritize getting. See if they have a 5th land. Of course they do. So let's just smash. See if they have like Conquer's Death here. If it's Dream Trawler, then I'm kind of screwed. Okay, it's Krasis 4. Just pressure their life total here. They have 3 cards. See what they get with Tamiyo here, or they're just filling the yard. Okay, trying to go for Shatter. I think this turn, because I don't want to overcommit to the board, I'm just going to go Royal Scions. I can put more power. Actually, either way, they're dead in 2, even like through an arrow, so I think we just bin the Grazer. So this is what I was more thinking of. You just have these early aggressive hands, the opponent kind of just spun their wheels and you put a lot of pressure on them. They can do this, get a Krasis, Krasis for 5, gains them 2 life. But I'm threatening them with this Royal Scions as well. Okay, they didn't hit it. They can Uro here. That does gain him 3, and it does survive. Yeah, this line plays me better against Shatter, because then I have these 4/4s. This is interesting. I can push through some damage. I can Krasis for 4. And then just play Royal Scions. Push through for 3. This lets me fly over the top too. Hey Master Chief, we lost a close one to Rakdos Kroxa. Basically, if we didn't have an untapped land, I would have won that game. Or if I had an untapped land, we drew a tap land. This one, we came out nice and aggressive. They maybe be able to stabilize if they hit their Shatter the Sky here. This is match 2, game 1. One, two, three, four, five, six, 7. So they can do a big Hydroid Krasis. Interesting. They try to go ECG here. They would have hit their Shatter, or Dream Trawler would have been good. So this gains them life. Draws them a card. Just going to block here. Grazer's not going to do much for us. This might be a board wipe still. It is. So we draw a card. We do have Uro, which is nice. And I think I have enough to... 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. So I have enough to cast Uro as well. So now we're at the grindy part of the game. We both have active walkers. They got back up to 10. So maybe should have prioritized this Tamiyo. Because they can get back any of their stuff now. Let's get another blue. So Uro here. Cavalier is also very good. Just play this into play tapped. Do they have the Conqueror's Death still in there? They don't. Okay, so getting Uro back seems good. They could get Dream Trawler back, but I have this Cavalier, which they haven't seen yet. Ooh. Aether Gust on top. Main board Aether Gust feels bad. Oh wait, shit. Oh no, I put it at the bottom. No! Oh, and they got Nisa. Nisa takes me out. Yeah, we're dead here. Ah, too aggressive there. I probably should have prioritized the thing earlier. So Tail's End is good in this matchup. These Ceratops are decent. Lava Coil's Probably not. Aether Gust and Disputes. In this matchup, Grazers could come out. Domri's not that good in this matchup. We're not really going to be fighting. Klothys is good. Scions is good. Vivien's decent. Krasis to refill. Questing Beast is interesting. Probably shave a couple Bonecrushers. We're not really going to be hitting that much with it. And then go from there. For the hand the way it was, like we were a bit aggressive taking it out. Maybe we should have focused on the Tamiyo a bit earlier. It did let them dig quite a bit. We could have killed it that turn instead of putting him to dead. Bit slower of a hand here. We do get to go Spellbreaker into Vivien. Okay, so they might have Aether Gust up here. No, Aether Gust is nice. So next turn, drop this down. Glass Casket. Well, that's annoying. We do have double Dispute. Do we just get Vivien going? I think we just do this for 2. Oh, you know what? I should have taken these Dragonfires out. Okay, the Krasis 2 here. So the problem is right now... Let's see if they trade. Because if I could have held up Vivien and Mystical Dispute, I would have. Ah, all cards I wanted to keep. So hopefully no Conquer's Death. If it is a blue spell, now I can hold up Mystical Dispute. Wrecked. I guess that line's riskier.
Civilization has crept too far.
So we'll just plus here. I can dispute whatever their play is. Well, I could dispute if it's a blue spell now. Okay. Hopefully this resolves. What are they targeting? I don't think we want Vivien. Yeah, we could put it on top actually. It just makes the Spellbreaker bigger after. If they play another one, we can deal with it. The one cool thing is if they play Uro out, we can Scorching Dragonfire it before the escape trigger goes, so then it gets exiled. just cycling through here. They get a 1/1 back. So we can counter Nisa as well and Dream Trawler. So countering that feels nice. And now we just turn on the aggression. If they have Aether Gust, I can dispute it as well.
I am Scholar's vengeance, and I'm coming for you next.
So we got a 5 power here.
My, how you've grown.
So if they conquers death, we can't really mystical dispute it. They have enough mana here. So they've shown they're probably playing 3 to 4 Conquers Death. If they have a couple Glass Caskets, then maybe I take out these Dragonfires. Let's do this. Okay, so they pay for it. That means they bounce the Spellbreaker. We'll just kill this then.
Trust me. You'll thank me later. Hey, so I've done the hero thing before.
Still has haste. Unless they have Aether Gust. Buys them one more turn. Yeah. Okay, so they got one more turn. See what they do. I'm really excited for this to be Dream Trawler. Agent of Treachery. Kidding me? So this makes it big enough now that I can't attack through it.
This will be fun to watch.
No, I am not making this up as I go.
This can also fight now.
Lucky for me, I like a fight.
They put the trawlers in the side, and they stole our Vivien to play the trawler.
I've got time.
Well, didn't think I was losing that way. Is there... Fry's not that good in this matchup. We had the Aether Gusts. I had originally... This Domri's been pretty lackluster. Let's play something else instead of this Domri. I could play Ambush. So for... We have a decent amount of creatures, but not the cheapest. We could play Cinder Vines. Deals with incidental damage. Your 2 Fringe for your attacks. In terms of aggressive creatures, like we can do Brontodon. kind of want things that draw cards. Actually, Kiora. Let's try out a couple Kiora. And maybe another Cavalier. Or maybe just another Dragonfire main. Let's try it like that. Alright, back to the drawing board. One more. Let me give Arena a reset and we'll fire it up for the last one. Kiora Best the Sea God, like, I'd rather play Agent of Treachery right now, or just it seems at the top end a little tough. Like, we're not getting to 7 mana in this deck. Probably see play, like, once some of the bigger stuff goes away. Like, if you're paying 7 mana, I'd probably rather Hydroid Krasis. It also gets hit by Elspeth Conqueror's Death, which is really prevalent right now. What I'd probably do is, if you play, like, a turbo ramp deck, sure. Put Krasis away. Hope we're not playing mono red. Alright, so probably the same Bant deck we just played against. Maybe blue-white Thassa. Nope. Never the case. So I could put in some pressure here. You know, they're more likely to have Mystical Dispute than they would Aether Gust main. And if they just like to fairy this turn. We'll drop Uro here. So if we draw an untapped, I can go Questing Beast. Which would be very good if they have something like Nisa. So want to hit lands. Perfect. This can also help us push through some damage with Questing Beast. So Questing Beast with first strike, it only has to deal 1 point of death touch damage. See what they prioritize here. Okay, that's fine. So we'll go Questing Beast here. Punch through some damage, then try to hit another land drop.
I enjoy the proper application of knowledge.
I'd rather keep Uro in hand right now just because it allows us to draw another card. Right now they can get Uro back. Okay, they shatter the sky. Sure, I'll take another Questing Beast. And Knight of Autumn. So here we get to pump through some damage. They get back Uro. It escapes and then it dies. They do have enough to escape it this turn. Oh, come on. Just not drawing lands this game. Teferi bounce. Probably the Conqueror's Death.
Might be a bad idea.
Okay, that does buy us a turn. So I could gamble and try for a land. Or I can just put them down and guarantee that Teferi dies. Which is, I think, what we need to do here. %44 chance to draw a land. Never seen it. They've seen 3 Conquer... Well, 2, and then they bounce, and they get to see another Conqueror's Death here. And they get to escape their Uro, and that's probably the end of the game. Because now this will just generate a whole bunch of value. So in the end we would have actually been rewarded for doing the Uro line. So they attack in here. No, they just Teferi bounce.
You show remorse, I'll show restraint. Nothing.
Just not catching a break. We're like getting close, but just not able to get to the end there. So Tail's End, Mystical Disputes, and Return to Natures and Ceratops. Whole whack coming out. So let's get rid of these Grazers, get rid of the Dragonfires, get rid of the Bonecrushers, and run it back like that. Should be better main board, like post board, just because we have a bit more interaction. But like this variant, we're not fast enough or combo-y like the Reclamation deck. And we're not like spammy like Adventures. Let's keep this one. So I can go... Do I want Mystical Disputes? No, I think I want lands. Because what I can do is I can fetch on 2, I can play out a Kiora, and then I can untap a land and then hold up Mystical Dispute. I can also Mystical Dispute this turn. So, we'll see if they kept in the disputes against us. Taking a chance here. So the cool thing is with Kiora, you get the it entering the battlefield trigger to draw a card as well. So we're not going to counter the Uro here. So I can Klothys this turn and hold up Mystical Dispute. Which is probably what we want, because I can eat their Uro. And if they have a Conqueror's Death, then that's it. So they have to decide if they want Kiora or Klothys to get rid of. They're also missing another white. So get rid of the Teferi there. That's actually perfect, because now we eat this, and now Klothys is going to win us this game. So, a couple triggers. Draw a card off Kiora. Okay, I already like Kiora better than Domri. Put a land into play. Do I have enough right now? No. Oh, you know what? I needed to make this a 4/4 to draw a card. So noted there. Little mistake there. So the fairy can bounce Klothys,
Don't worry, I got this.
which is fine. So I actually think here, let's draw a card. And then we'll feint that we have Mystical Dispute.
Let's get moving.
And that draws us a card as well. Alright, so we're rolling now. Okay, so they can shatter or they can Conquer's Death. Okay, they shatter. Do I want to put a Spellbreaker on top? That puts 2. I think we're fine here. I can eat away at their library or their graveyard. Cavalier's a nice draw. So I'm going to prioritize getting stuff they can get back with Conquer's Death. Let's go Cavalier here. And that lets me Uro as well. That plays into Mystical Dispute, where Questing Beast doesn't. So let's Questing Beast. Draw another card. Turns on Klothys. I'm gonna feint again, like we have the Mystical Dispute. Kiora's already felt a lot better. That's definitely the way we want to be playing it now. So we have lethal a number of ways. We can easily turn on Klothys as well, and we're attacking their graveyard. Okay, they shatter again. I would love a 4/4 with haste. That also draws me a card. So get rid of Tef. Actually, let me scry first. Then we draw. So we'll go post-combat on the Uro. It's fine. They can Aether Gust. They're dead to the Klothys trigger anyways on upkeep if they don't have an Uro. Then just end the turn here. Kiora straight up won us this game. How about no? Sick. Sick. Run it back same way. Do I want the Bonecrushers for Teferi? Probably not. Tail's End seems decent. Because like it hits Uro, it hits the trigger on it. Maybe not on the play because they can get Teferi down. So let's bring in a Giant. Maybe just cut down a Scion, bring in 2 Giants. Just if they Teferi minus, I want to be able to take it off the table. That's the one that seems to be like the one that'd be problematic. Because we're playing a higher density, like we normally play Domri's Ambush and something like this, but we don't have a super high creature count. Playing Guild Gates. They're probably going to get ahead of us. Ooh, that's good in the matchup. That's also good. So interesting to see here. Okay, so I'm probably going to go Uro here. Okay, so they likely have Aether Gust. So everything in my hand does get bounced by Aether Gust, so... let's just run it out. I probably don't want it at this point, to be honest. Because the thing is, I'm not... with Cavalier, it's probably okay. They Uro of their own. Okay, so here... I'm probably just going Spellbreaker this turn. Deal some damage. Probably okay for lands. Hopefully they don't just play Dream Trawler, because I'm dead to that. Actually, I have Cavalier, but... okay, Nisa's not the best, but not the worst. And they go the Teferi bounce route. So now we're in trouble. So Ceratops could come down. It can hit Nisa for a chunk, but not enough. I can... so let's do this, because then I'm going to Cavaliers this turn. Gets us the land into play. Because next turn I can Ceratops and Spellbreaker, or I can just give something Trample. Granted, they don't play out Conquer's Death. Tamiyo gets back Aether Gust. They get back Aether Gust. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Can play out both. Do need like a questing beast sooner than later. So we need an untapped land here, unless they just have a counter spell. Okay. And then I think we just do this. This deck might just be really susceptible to, like, with so much Aether Gust, every sideboard right now is playing 4 of these, and it hits pretty much every card in our library. Okay, they just gain a ton of life. Very odd to keep that card in there, I think. Okay, so they have the Conqueror's Death. They get rid of Cavalier. Buddy, you could good game, but it's not over.
Let's slow this down. Stop, that's more like it.
Oh, no, it is over. Spoke too soon. Alright, so the version with Kiora was better. Not having a way to deal... Maybe we want Storm's Wrath, actually. Like, our walkers tend to have pretty high loyalty. The Storm's Wrath makes sense. It hits a lot of our stuff. Maybe for that matchup, but even then it's not the best. I think we just need to do what we did that game too and just get under them. I do think it's important maybe that we do keep the Arboreal Grazers in that matchup. Just being able to play ahead. Mind you, they're kind of late draws and they're not the best. Kiora was very good that game. I did like this version better with Kiora. The Bonecrushers are fine as early removal. I think we need to wait till the meta kind of dies down on Aether Gust decks and then come back with this. I do like Klothys. Like, this shell I did enjoy. Maybe we go like... Because I can play Kiora as well in a Jund Monsters deck, so maybe we try that out. Similar concept. But we have black for hard removal and then discard as well. So that's probably the next version I'll try out with the deck. Kind of this shell but ported over. So I'm going to wrap this one up. Thanks everyone for stopping by. If you do enjoy the content, make sure to follow here on Twitch. If you missed any part, I'll have this up on YouTube in the next day or so. Tomorrow will be the Boros control list we played yesterday, and then this will be up the following day. Anyways, have a great one. Stay safe out there, and catch you next time.